Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Tekken 8 KAZUYA MISHIMA. And Jin wasn't a very good figure. He was okay. And I think KAZUYA is better. So maybe those of you guys who are into Tekken will be happy about that. I think KAZUYA is more popular than Jin. Let me know what you guys think about that. Is he more popular? Who do you like more? But yeah, this is a solid release with some interesting things going on, so let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a good package. It's nice and colorful, and you can see the figure in there nicely when it's in there, and they have the background accessory behind him, so it actually looks pretty nice. Photos of the figure right there look good. Don't ever put a CGI render next to the figure though, guys. It doesn't ever make the figure look good. Stop doing that. But this one does look pretty good. The promo images look really good, honestly. The final result, slightly less so, but it is a fine packaging. And so let's move on to the figure. I will note this guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put a link in the description below. He stands roughly, we'll say 15.5 centimeters to the top of his head, a little higher for the hair. That's going to make him just about 6 inches, we'll say. Here he is up against Darwin. So Darwin, they're clearly out of scale. Darwin's way bigger. And then here he is up against Jin. I guess they go well enough together. I still find Jin quite underwhelming despite the benefits of the figure. I really don't like the face and the skin tone on him. So that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, they'll look good enough on your shelf if you like these modern designs. I would be a lot more forgiving personally if they were classic looks. I don't care about the suit and the jacket and whatnot. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about this guy. But first, we'll do a question of the day, besides the one I already asked about Jin versus KAZUYA. Do you guys like... Yeah, it's a cool looking coat, but do you guys like this modern look more than the traditional look? To me, it's just silly, especially with the fighting gloves. I don't care. I don't care about that at all. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the figure. Aesthetically, I like all of it a lot, except for the face. The face doesn't look anywhere near as good as it did in the solicitation photos. It's fine. He's not cross-eyed. They just have too much of the dark shading around the eyes. It's fine, and there's a lot that's really good about it, but there's something about the face that's off. I'll bring up the box. Man, every time I need to use the box for reference, I've thrown it too far. Let's look at... There, that's a good enough shot, and that'll work. Look at that one. And look at that one. It's still good, but there's something about this one that's better. The eyes look farther apart, honestly, and I don't think it's just the shading. Maybe it is. There's something about this that makes the eyes look too narrow. I think it is the shading, the more I look at it, because it's a really good sculpt, and the paints are clean. It'll do. Don't get me wrong, it will do. It just doesn't look as good as the promo photos, so be aware. Oops. Be aware of that. Alright, let's leave it right there. He's kind of dark, so it's hard to film this guy. But yeah, otherwise, he looks really, really good. Like, to me, Jin looked pretty good. But the pale skin and the eyes look really weird. And the hair is a little bit too much, and the face is small. This guy looks way better. So we have the shiny jacket with a couple different finishes on it, or colors, darker gray or purple here with the line work and stuff. Then you have the inner suit, which does look plasticky, kind of like Jin's pants, but it looks better on this guy, I think. Maybe because there's not a lot of detail going on. I don't know, there's something about this guy that looks nicer. Not sure exactly, but this is very well sculpted, and the different finishes really bring him to life. What's painted there is clean. Maybe it's just the head is really nice. I don't know, there's something about this guy that looks way better. His feet are maybe a little bit big, but he has some shiny dress shoes on. I like his proportions. I was thinking about this guy a little bit more, and I was talking to my buddy. Maybe the head's not too big. Maybe it's something to do with the way they've arranged the neck and the jacket. And I think it's more the hair and the face that are off than the head actually being, or I mean too little. I don't think it's that. Anyway, I probably was harsher on Jin than I needed to be, but this guy I like a lot. Aesthetically, I'm going to give this guy a 9. He looks really, really good. I'm going to have to shoot this video a little bit bright because he's quite dark. But yeah, he looks really nice. Alright, moving on to the accessories. We don't have a ton. We have only 3 heads. We have the neutral head that comes on him in the package, one where he's looking off to the side. That's somewhat questionable. And then we have the angry one, which still has the same issue of too much of that black shading around the eyes. It makes the eyes look really narrow. So there's something off about it. Up close, probably won't notice it too far away. For hands, we have just a small variety. It's probably enough, but Certainly not impressive. And that's it for real accessories. No effects at all, no stand or anything. You do get these incredibly underwhelming cards that are backdrops that come folded up and just jammed into the package. And I guess some of you like these. I can't stand them, especially since there's 2 pieces. So unless you're using 2 figures and they each get to stand in front of 1 piece, you have your main figure standing in the seam or up against the seam. I don't see the value. I have no use for these at all, and I don't think they're well enough executed. So accessories on this guy, I'm only going to do 5 out of 10. Only a few hands, a couple heads. That's it. No effect part at all. That's a bummer. I'd like to see a little bit more. But at least we have a lot of new sculpt work here, so I'll give them some credit. Alright, let's talk about the articulation. You'd think he'd be pretty limited, but I think they did a decent job. For the head, you get double ball peg, which is nice. It's not the best application I've ever seen, but it'll do. The neck is also on a ball peg, so that'll work. Yeah, the neck itself doesn't move too much, but the head does move probably well enough. I'd say if the neck had better range, you'd be better off, but it's kind of stuck in there in that collar. So it could be a lot better, but it's not bad. It's definitely okay. For the shoulder, you have a butterfly joint that doesn't do a ton, but if you actually give it some force, it brings the arm pretty far forward. It goes pretty far back, so it definitely helps with nuance posing and bringing the arm to the front of the chest despite how baggy his clothes are. That's not too bad. I don't mind that at all. And then the shoulder itself, the butterfly can lean up, probably connected on a ball peg down. Yeah, ball peg down here. So you can get the arm up better than horizontal. That's good. You can adjust the shoulder up and down. You can rotate it there. You can also rotate at the elbow. So you can get him into some pretty decent fight pose. He can pose way better than Jin, so that's nice. Elbow works pretty well despite being... It's technically 2 joints, but one's almost completely buried. Yeah, it works pretty well. I'll take it. And then the wrists are on little ball hinges. That's fine. The torso joint on this guy has lots and lots of range. It has lots. And then there's a ball peg down here too. So in conjunction, you can just move this guy all over and it is fine. So that's really good. It could be probably a little bit tighter, but that's really nice. The jacket has some articulation too, so you can keep it up. It's just a little ball hinge, nothing crazy, but it's definitely posable, so that's good. And for the hips, this thing, I love this. He doesn't have the drop-down hips that this guy had. He didn't need them. He didn't need that at all. This guy's hips are so much nicer designed. This guy had drop-downs with these goofy floating pieces, and it's just so ugly. And it didn't work that well, whereas this guy... He's got more going on here, and he doesn't have the drop down. He just has the traditional style joint, which gives him plenty of range. It doesn't look anywhere near as goofy, and it's way simpler to use. Like, he can kick perfectly fine. Forward and back, out to the side, no problem. Thigh swivel is there. I don't know why this guy got such a better deal than Jin. That's unfortunate. So yeah, thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely fine. And then for the ankle, it's got a ball peg and a ball hinge, so you can... His pants get in the way, but you can lean his foot up some. You can really lean it down if you want to. You have a really, really nice ankle rocker. That works well. Yeah, that's very good. You get rotation if you want it. And the toe hinge is one of the better ones. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. So yeah, I don't really have any gripes about this guy's articulation. Given the bulkiness of all the layers of the overcoat and the suit coat and everything, he poses surprisingly well. I would say the neck is the most limited part of this guy, and I think I can live with that. I'm going to give this guy an 9 out of 10. Given the character design, his articulation is really solid. His head is a little bit limited, but the rest is pretty darn good. I think you'll be able to pose the crap out of this guy. This guy was annoying and limited comparatively, so yeah, I think this is the better figure. I'm going to give this guy an overall rating of, I'm going to say 8 out of 10. The limited accessories is annoying, and the face, even though it's technically really well done in a lot of ways, it's not quite hitting the spot. It's not quite there, but it's still pretty darn good. From a distance, it'll be very good. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some room for improvement, but he's a good release. Let me know what you guys think. Which one do you prefer? Just of the figures, not characters, not character design, just of the figures. So anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.